The tale of an aging woman, Osteoporosis explained. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, a princess named Joan led a happy life. As time passed by, Joan got older and older. One day, she fell down the stairs and broke her arm. She went to the doctor and asked how her arm could break so easily. The doctor explained. As we mature from infancy to adulthood, our bones, partly in response to stress, increase in size, hardness and density. On our bone, a number of living cells with various functions are present, including osteoblasts, which promote bone formation, and osteoclasts, which degrade the bone. This bone formation and degradation is an ongoing process and regulates the calcium and phosphate balance in the body. By bone formation, free calcium and phosphate from the body are stored in the bone. Whereas bone degradation frees this calcium and phosphate from the bone. When the levels of free calcium in the blood are low, the parathyroid hormone is secreted by the parathyroid glands. This hormone works on 3 different targets to increase the levels of free calcium in the body. In the intestine, it stimulates the absorption of calcium from food. In the kidney, it stimulates the reabsorption of calcium. In bone, it stimulates the reabsorption of bone by the osteoclasts, freeing calcium and phosphate from the bone. By the workings of the parathyroid hormone, high levels of free calcium in the body are reached, which stops further secretion of the hormone. With these high levels of free calcium, the osteoblasts are able to form new bone tissue. However, when aging, this balance of bone degradation and formation shifts. No longer are the osteoblasts able to reform the same amount of bone which has been removed by the osteoclasts. As this balance shifts, bone density will start to decrease. This major decrease of bone density is called osteoporosis, having weak bones. Osteoporosis is a main disease all over the world. In 2010, the annual cost due to osteoporosis in Europe was around 37 billion euros. In general, 1 out of 2 women will suffer from a fracture after the age of 50 due to osteoporosis, whereas only 1 in 5 men will. One of the major causes of this fall in bone density are the decreasing levels of sex hormones when we age. Testosterone in men, estrogen in women. In aging men, this decrease of testosterone levels happens gradually, in contrast to the abrupt decline of estrogen in aging women, which happens at the menopause. This explains the fact that women are far more susceptible to this disease compared to men. To prevent osteoporosis, a non-pharmacological approach can be sufficient, including increase of your dietary intake of calcium and vitamin B, in addition to weight-bearing exercise. When osteoporosis has already set in, a pharmacological approach can be used. The pharmacological agents that are used to treat this disease can be divided into 2 groups: the anti-degrading drugs and the bone formation stimulators. Both help to get the balance between bone formation and degradation back to normal. Joan now has a much better understanding of why her bone broke so easily. She got a prescription from her doctor and her bone healed perfectly well. She lived happily ever after.
A man walks down the street, he says, "Why am I soft in the middle